Once upon a time in the bustling city of Ibadan, young Efe and Sade were inseparable. Their bond was forged in the sprawling Agodi gardens, where they spent countless afternoons playing, laughing, and dreaming of what life would hold for them. One hot afternoon, Efe brought a carved wooden bird he made with his father's tools to the gardens. "This is for you," he said shyly, placing the bird in Sade's hand. Sade's eyes lit up as she thanked him. "It's beautiful, Efe. I'll keep it forever." Another time, after a rough game, Efe fell and scraped his knee. As hot tears welled up in his eyes, and just before the waterworks exploded, Sade was there, her small hands wiping his tears away. "Don't worry, Efe. I'm here," she said. Those moments, though small, were the seeds of a love that neither fully understood yet. But life, with its unpredictable twists, had other plans. One day, Efe's father announced they were moving to Kaduna due to a job transfer. As the moving truck was loaded, Sade ran to Efe's house, her eyes brimming with tears. They stood by the side of the road, the sounds of the bustling city around them fading away as they faced each other for what they thought might be the last time. "We'll see each other again, right?" Sade's voice quivered with hope as the tears continued to flow. Efe nodded, though his heart was heavy with the knowledge that this goodbye might be permanent. "Of course. I'll never forget you, Sade." But as the years passed, the distance between them grew. And with no way to communicate, their once unbreakable bond began to fade into a bittersweet memory. Efe's family settled into their new life in Kaduna, and Sade remained in Ibadan, each moving forward with their lives. Though neither could fully forget the other. Years turned into decades. Efe and Sade both married, had children, and built their lives in different corners of Nigeria. Efe became a respected businessman in Kaduna, his ventures always making resounding impact. While Sade, now a successful educator, dedicated herself to her students in Ibadan. Despite the life they had, both felt an inexplicable emptiness. Efe often found himself staring at the picture of the small wooden bird he had given to Sade. Wondering if she still had it, if she ever thought of him. Sade, on the other hand, would occasionally walk through Agodi gardens, letting her mind drift back to those childhood days. Her heart aching with a longing she couldn't quite name. To make the situation more unbearable, Efe's wife, who passed away after a prolonged illness, had left him feeling alone despite his children's presence. Sade's late husband, on the other hand, though a good man, had never truly captured her heart the way Efe had. Both marriages were marked by companionship and duty, rather than the deep connection they once knew. Decades later, fate decided to reunite the two. On a warm Saturday afternoon, both Efe and Sade found themselves at the National Sports Festival in Abuja. Each there to support their children who were competing in different events. As Efe strolled through the crowded stadium, a familiar face caught his eye. Time seemed to freeze as he recognized Sade, standing just a few feet away, her attention focused on the captivating actions on the field. "Sade." His voice was soft. Almost a whisper, but it carried the weight of years. She turned slowly, her eyes locking onto his. For a moment the bustling stadium faded into the background, leaving only the two of them in a bubble of memories. "Efe," her voice trembled with a mix of joy and disbelief. They stood still for a few seconds, processing the miracle that had brought them together again. Then, as if by instinct, they moved towards each other, their embrace erasing the years of separation. It felt like coming home after a long, exhausting journey. "I can't believe it's you," Sade whispered, tears welling up in her eyes. "After all these years." Efe looked at her, his own eyes misty. "I never stopped thinking about you, Sade. Not for a single day. My life moved on, but my heart? It was always yours." Sade felt a mixture of joy and sorrow. We were just children, but I've always wondered, what if?
Good people. Have you subscribed yet? Kindly consider doing so and remember to press the notification bell too. It's free. Thank you. Okay. Let's continue with this love story.
In the days that followed, Efe and Sade spent as much time together as they could, rekindling the connection that had never truly died. They spoke of their lives, their children, and the paths they had taken. They walked through the streets of Abuja, sharing memories, laughter, and sometimes silence that spoke more than words ever could. One evening, as they strolled by the riverbank, Efe turned to Sade with a serious expression. The setting sun cast a golden glow over the water, mirroring the warmth in his eyes. Sade, I've lived a good life, but I've never felt truly fulfilled. The truth is, I was happiest when I was with you. Losing you once was the greatest regret of my life. I won't let that happen again. Sade's heart raced. She had never heard Efe speak so openly, so vulnerably. She had always loved him, but life had led them down different paths. Are you saying, she began, unsure how to express her feelings. I'm saying that I love you, Sade. I always have. Let's not waste any more time. I don't want to live another day without you by my side. Tears filled Sade's eyes as they continued on their walk. She looked at Efe as she realized that although the years had changed them, her feelings for him had not. In that moment, she knew what she wanted, what she had always wanted. I love you too, Efe. I always have. Let's make up for lost time. Their decision to be together wasn't without its challenges. Efe's children, though supportive, were initially surprised by the sudden turn of events. Sade's family too needed time to adjust to the idea of their mother finding love again. But Efe and Sade's love, born in innocence and rekindled in maturity, was a force that could not be denied. They returned to Ibadan together, where their story had begun, ready to start a new chapter of their lives. Efe smiled, his heart totally joyful as they settled in. We've come full circle, haven't we, my love? Yes, we have. Sade replied, taking his hand. African Tales, Stories and Fables blooper post story. Well, lost love when found again, is like a second sunrise. It's warmer, deeper, and more cherished.
Enjoy so many more short and entertaining African tales, stories, and fables by watching the videos displayed on the screen. Thank you, and see you there.